The first alien ship appeared above the Pacific without warning, did not send a greeting, it did not issue a threat. It simply arrived and waited. 3 more followed across the world. Satellites shifted, and telescopes focused, military networks lit up in silent alarm. Within minutes, every major government understood the same truth. They were not alone. A signal reached Earth in perfect translation. Dominant species identified, apex predator confirmed. Trial begins. There were no demands, no negotiations. Only that single word, trial. Then the ships opened. Hundreds of pods dropped from orbit. They burned through the sky like falling stars. They scattered across oceans, forests, deserts, and mountains. Each pod carried one hunter. They were tall and lean. Their bodies were protected by layered armor that shimmered like oil on water. Their eyes glowed pale blue. Their weapons hummed with contained stellar energy. They had crossed the galaxy for one purpose: to hunt apex species, to test them, to break them, to prove dominance. Earth had been measured, Earth had been damned. Now Earth would be tested. Beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility without a name, a woman stood inside a quiet chamber. Her name was Captain Alina Reyes. She wore a simple, adaptive combat suit, no medals, no ceremony, no speech. She had trained her entire life for predators, not for aliens, for anything. The program that shaped her had begun decades earlier. It was built on a single assumption: if something comes from the stars, it will not fear Uso. We must give it something. To Feralina was not enhanced by chemicals or machines. She was refined by discipline. Her reflexes were sharpened through endless drills. Her mind was trained to map terrain. In seconds she understood survival. In jungle, desert, tundra, and city, she knew how hunters think, and she knew their weakness. Every hunter believes it stands at the top until it bleeds. World leaders connected through a secure channel. The decision was unanimous. Centera stealth aircraft carried Alina west before dawn. Her equipment was minimal: a kinetic rifle, an electromagnetic blade, micro-drones, no larger than insects, a neural link to satellite support. She would not defend cities, she would hunt the hunters. The first alien landed in the Canadian wilderness. Snow stretched for miles. Pine trees stood silent under a grey sky. The hunter moved with terrifying grace. Its sensors scanned heat signatures across the forest. It detected a grizzly bear. The bear roared and charged. Hunter fired once the forest fell quiet. Then its sensors flickered. A brief disruption. A signal burst. Alina moved from behind a ridge of snow. Her drones swarmed the hunter's optics. Static blinded its targeting systems. She slid down the slope and drove her blade into the gap beneath its armor plates. Blue blood spilled onto white snow. The hunter staggered. Its translator activated. Prey does not counter. Hunterlina twisted the blade. Deeper we Duther. Alien collapsed. She vanished before orbital surveillance. Gestures later, a second hunter moved through the plains of Kenya. Tall grass shifted in warm wind. A pride of lions watched from a distance. The hunter cloaked and advanced. It enjoyed the challenge. It never saw the trip-wearing improvised explosives detonated beneath its legs. Armor cracked, one limb tore free. The hunter roared and fired. Blindly grass ignited, animals scattered. Alina emerged from concealment. She fired into the exposed joint of its shoulder. Closed distance, avoided a wild plasma swing. The alien struck her across the chest. Her suit absorbed most of the force. She rolled and pressed a pulse charge against its torso. The blast shattered its core plate. She looked into its fading blue eyes. You came for trophies, welcome to Earth. A second hunter fell across orbit. Tension grew. 2 losses were impossible. Hunters began pairing. They activated full cloaking systems. They stopped pursuing animals. They began hunting heron. The Amazon rainforest. 2 hunters moved together through thick canopy. They scanned for heat patterns. They detected her trace. They separated to flank Alina. Had predicted that sensors she planted days earlier, mapped every step. Drones clung to branches, pressure traps, waited beneath mud. The first hunter entered. A quiet clearing, the ground collapsed beneath it. Engineered sinkhole, sharpened carbon stakes, pierced armor seams. It howled in fury. The second rushed forward. Alina dropped from the canopy above. She landed on its back and looped monofilament wire around. Its neck joint, the alien smashed into trees. Trying to dislodge her, she held firm. The wire sliced through the final layer. Both hunters lay still beneath the dense green canopy. Four were gone. Panic spread through alien channels. This was no longer a simple trial. The Hunter Prime watched from the command vessel. Data streams scrolled across its display. Human adaptability exceeded projections. Strategic coordination, high retaliatory instinct, extreme. The Prime issued a new command: converge, eliminate. The human counter-predicted. Alina intercepted the transmission. They were done testing. So was she. She chose Siberianless frozen land, wide open sky, no cover. She transmitted coordinates on their own encrypted banda. Challenge 5. Hunters arrived across the ice. Their armor gleamed against the white horizon. Wind carried frozen crystals through the air. Alina stood alone in the center of the plain, still calm. The hunters advanced in formation. They believed numbers would end this. They charged. Alina tapped her wrist beneath the ice machinery, awakened weeks earlier. Earth engineers had prepared this field: buried rail cannons, concealed drone racks, orbital mirrors calibrated to precise angles. The ice exploded upward. Steel platforms rose. The first hunter vanished in a flash of hypervelocity impact. The second lost half its torso. The remaining 3 scattered with shields flaring bright. Alina sprinted through smoke and steam. A plasma blade cut through air inches from her face. She rolled and fired into an exposed hip joint. Another hunter seized her and hurled her across the ice. Pain surged through her ribs. She forced herself upright. Humans endure. One hunter lunged. She ducked and drove her blade into its abdomen. It collapsed. The final hunter activated a heavy shield and advanced slowly. Lena triggered the last protocol. In orbit, mirrors aligned. Solar energy focused into a single column. Light struck the ice field. For a moment the world turned white. When the glare faded, only she remained standing. 5 more fallen across space. Silence filled the hunter command vessel. Half their elite force destroyed by one world, by one species they had labeled prey. The Prime opened a channel to Earth. A towering alien form appeared on screens worldwide. Are not prey. Alina looked toward the sky. You came to test us. Now you know. The Prime hesitated. Across the galaxy, reputation meant survival. To continue risked extinction. To withdraw meant acknowledgement. Kryl concluded humanity recognized as apex predator. Species territory respected. The remaining ships withdrew from orbit. Pods burned away into the dark. The sky cleared across Earth. People waited in disbelief. Then confirmation arrived. They were leaving. Alina finally allowed herself to kneel in the snow. Med teams would arrive soon. World leaders would speak her name. But she understood the truth that was never about one soldier. It was about a species that survived ice ages, a species that crossed oceans in fragile ships, a species that hunted mammoths with sharpened stone, a species that walked on the moon. Apex did not mean strongest. Apex meant adaptably. Week later, a final transmission reached Earth from deep space, a simple data archive. Within it, humanity found its new classification in the Hunter. Record Sol System, third planet, cooperative, pack predators, strategic, relentless. Extreme retaliatory capacity. Alina read the record in silence. Earth did not seek war, but if something came hunting Earth, would hunt back far beyond the edge of the solar system. The story spread among distant civilizations of a blue world that refused to kneel, of hunters who became the hunter dove, a species that stood small against the stars, proved that humanity was never prey. Humanity was the storm waiting in the trees.